Hi, I am Benjamin Temple. This is an update on my engine terminal layout, as I call it. So recently, actually been some months back, I was doing some sanding down on the board so the track would lay a little closer to the lip of the turntable. So what I mean is right here where this rail, which is sticking a little up in the air, but so those are flush on top of the ledge of the turntable, which I guess as I screwed things down and moved things, maybe the screws have come up, but for the most part, this board is certainly better than it was 2-3 months ago when I was doing all that, and just now getting the time to screw that down. But I didn't come here to really show you that particular deal exactly. I did, but I didn't. I wanted to show this alignment here. So, no, I don't have the UP car. This is a Class 1 Model Works. The GSC HD flat car. So that center depress flat car for carrying heavy loads. But so I'm just going to give it a push with my hand here, and then okay, so I guess maybe I got something off, but earlier it rolled pretty decent across there. But yeah, for the most part, it rolls. It certainly it certainly rolls a lot better. Wish I had the same car though, I could show the difference in that car, but the board is certainly better than it was in the past. Guess there's only so much perfection that you're gonna get unless you really sit and work on this. And maybe I'm just a perfectionist, but I know some people's harped about my board and, you know, realism as far as these screws. And yes, I know the screws are visible, and some people have suggested like gluing the track down, but if for whatever reason, you know, you wanted to move this, you need to take the turntable out due to wiring issues. Now that track would be glued down, and being the you know, the track comes out on top of the turntable, you have to get the track off of it so that you can pop this turntable up. Now maybe in reality it was a bad design, but this design was done when was in my late 20s that I come up with this idea. You know, since then I've seen some other designs. What's neat this week, I think, one of the members in that show, I seen where he has like just a sheet of plywood here, and then kind of like this, but it's open on the underneath here, which Joshua, I think, is his name in that show. For those that know what I'm talking about, then I probably get it, but that's Ken Patterson's podcast. Anyhow, you know, I've been working on this for some years, and it's had a lot of changes and improvements. For one, like the backdrop here got extended even from past the old boarding. You can kind of see where the cracks are at there, where the extension got. And then even on this got extended here. But if I ever built, you know, change this up, like say I would incorporate about an inch longer, well, half an inch, I mean to say here, but elsewise I keep everything the same. Other than I was thinking about, since I've had the problems, like the thing that comes with the Walters make. So, talking about this first track would be from this here to here would be the 2.5 and the 2.5 inches from that there, and then that would just be whatever it was. And if you did it right, it shouldn't all fall into place, meaning I can cut this track here and I should be able to do 9 more. And that's what I would do. I'd still have this track here line up with this track, and then this machine shop line up with this. The third track, just like I've got here, that would be the game plan. But since I've, you know, been working on this for so long, and the deal, I'm just gonna stick with it now. But if down the road it causes me problems, then what I was gonna do is start all over, at least as far as the track, the turntable keep, and the, of course, the trees, you know, keep that. But I'll go to a whole new board, and I'll probably even do an all new roundhouse, because this roundhouse is warped and got some issues. Now the machine shop, I don't think I can get that anywhere from what I've seen of, so I'll probably be sticking with this. I'll just do my best, and it's not causing me any problems. But the roundhouse with the doors and just the fact the building isn't really lining up together, I don't know what happened. Was it a design flaw, you know, in the plastic making, or if the fact that I left it sit in boxes and stuff sitting on top of it warped it somewhat, or if it was my gluing process of putting it together. But whatever it be, I would buy, you know, 3 more buildings and carefully put them together and have the board cut and all set. And I use this old building as kind of the pattern for that new, and then that way I could cut out the pits and have it all set. And then that way I could put it together on the board and make sure everything gets put together correctly the next go around, and we don't have any issues like we've had with this one. But I really like the fact, and then I know, like people said, the screws are not very prototypical if you're trying to build one of those, you know, just perfect. But on that end over there is going to be the backdrop. The control panel is going to be over here, and then of course this butts up against another module that'll come out. And when it comes out, that's going to be there's going to be you know, your modern day this here, the modern day coaling tower is going to be there. These the sand pit here are the sand towers for loading the steam engine, and that see, where's that? And this ash thing for unloading and dropping it off into the gondola cars, would all be there. Of course, this wouldn't be on this board. This is the refinery. This board, as I've stated in other videos, is going to get completely overhauled in that sense of the matter. I did get some bridges to complete that end over there, but unfortunately those are not going to be work for that. So probably what I'm going to have to do is build a custom bridge and go from there once you know, I get, but I've got so the plan is kind of for this board is originally started out that way. So there's going to be a switch there, and then this switch is going to be more the bigger 22-inch radius for the bigger engines to go through, so they can come off and go in and pull those cars out. But and then one of the reasons I didn't do that when I was 15 years old, because I didn't have the experience, or to be honest, my confidence was a little low at that time. But I do have this street track kit. It's what's going to go in that turntable, or that turnout there for this crossing here. And then this next switch will be a three-way switch actually, and then down on the end will be a three-way, but it'll go plumb off the board there. That way you have room for several tank trains. And I'm going to build it basically to set 5 LPG, liquid petroleum gas, so those big 65 or 68 foot tank cars. That's going to be the plan with that. But I'm really concentrating on this because I'm so close to having this done. Like I say, I need the backdrop back there, the control panel, which I have, the picture frame, and the printout for the layout, or this module drawing as far as that. So it's just really you know, finishing the wiring out through this tube here that's on the end here, this piping that's here. So finishing the wiring for all that to come through, and then your picture frame with the toggle switches and all that being wired up, which will be your control panel. Also, there'll be wire for the turntable itself, and that'll plug into that Walters little remote control for operating it. Yes, it does work, or at least did in the past. So that's my video, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.